Welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday, and I feel like continuing this. Doesn't really make a whole lot of difference to you at home, because these episodes are going to be coming out, well, Mario Maker episodes are going to be coming out every other day regardless, but it does make a difference to future me that I am recording an extra episode on this batch. So you're welcome, future me. You're welcome. But yeah, no, I just felt like continuing playing because I was actually enjoying myself. Strangely, you know, it's weird. It's weird. Maybe it's because I have the place to myself currently, and I feel comfortable saying that because this episode's not going to come out till after that's not the case. So, but yes, currently my aunt and uncle are out of town. So I can just chill and be me and just record as much as I want. I don't have to really worry about the time limit, except that I do need to take care of the animals at some point, but that's not for another hour or two. I have a lot more freedom since they're not here, and that's great. The only thing that could make it better is if I didn't have to work. I didn't have to work this shift, you know, this last shift, I should say, because snow, but it'd be nice if I didn't have to work this week at all. Because, I mean, it would be nice if I didn't have to work in general, and I could just do this instead. But we're getting back into the topic that we were talking about last episode. It would be even better if I could spend all of my time doing this sort of thing. Of course, realistically, that wouldn't happen because, you know, like today, I spent a bunch of time on YouTube. However, there is something to say. While there is an almost infinite amount of content on the internet nowadays, there is only so much content that is going to be interesting to me or anyone else consuming it. So, I think there actually is a certain amount, a finite amount of, effectively a finite amount of watching YouTube that I can do before I actually run out of stuff to watch. And at that point, I'm gonna get real productive, you know? I'm gonna get super productive. But when I have to work a bunch, I don't get to do that. I don't get to watch all those videos, so I don't get to be as productive when I'm not on the clock, you know? I mean, obviously I'm being at least somewhat productive while I'm at my actual job. But I don't get to work on the stuff that I want to work on. Nor do I get to watch YouTube. So, yeah, wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great if I could just watch YouTube as a job? Technically, I could do that with the angle I'm going for on my career. You know, trying to be a content creator. You know, a React Andy, as they say. And honestly, I've considered that. I even considered doing a stream like that today. And in fact, I probably should have. I probably should have just watched YouTube on stream. That way I could have been a little more productive about it. But I didn't. But that's fine. Honestly, it's fine. Right? Because like I said, only a finite amount of YouTube to watch. So now that I have basically run the well dry, at least for the next few hours, now I can do other things. Other things that I wanted to do. Why did I go over here? That wasn't the one where I needed to go over there. Man. I would say probably the worst thing for productivity is, I mean, it's effectively just finding a new rabbit hole to go down, whether it's like a new creator that you just discovered, or a new platform that you started going on. Like, I remember there was a specific point where I had to delete Twitter off my phone because I would browse Twitter at work, right? On my breaks at work. Not while I was supposed to be working on my breaks. But I would browse Twitter on my breaks. And it got to a point where like, oh yeah, I started following a bunch of different people. So, you know, my timeline started filling up more and more with stuff. And it got to a point where I would go home after work and I'd start browsing Twitter again. Even though, you know, I wasn't, because, you know, originally I started doing it just to kill time on my break, just to, you know, entertain myself on my break. But it got to the point where I got home, I opened up Twitter, and then I spent like 3 or 4 hours on it, just reading what other people were posting. And that, combined with the fact that most of what I started seeing was incredibly negative, and I didn't like seeing that. Those two facts combined made me eventually be like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I deleted Twitter off my phone. It's back on my phone now, but I haven't gotten to the point again where I'm spending a lot of time on it because I have other stuff that I do on my work breaks now, namely Volta Flip. But let's not talk about that because that's secret. It's a secret project that I'm working on my breaks at work. Yeah, so that'll kill your productivity, is finding a new platform to go on. So far, I haven't had that problem recently, right? The last time I had that problem was Twitter, and then when Twitter started sucking up all my time. But then I feel I've managed to do away with it, and in doing so, I have made myself significantly more productive. And that's good. It's good. That's not to say that I'm incredibly productive, because again, we just discussed I might have a problem with YouTube. Or maybe not. But I do spend a lot of time watching YouTube. And honestly, it feels even worse when I get home from work, my actual job, and I sit down and, you know, maybe I edit a video, but then, maybe I sit down and edit a video, but then I spend the next couple hours that I have before I'm supposed to go to bed, I just spend that time watching YouTube. Honestly, it feels worse then, because I don't even get to get through all the videos I want to watch a lot of the time. I don't get to expend that resource of that pool of videos that interest me. So then the next day comes around and it's kind of built up. And then when I'm on my days off, I end up watching all those videos that I've been wanting to watch throughout the week. And then I feel terrible because I spent almost the entire day watching YouTube. Basically, that's what happened today. Or tonight, I guess. On this, yeah, and graveyard shifts really mess with your sense of time. But, my point is, yeah, effectively, I feel like I need a certain amount of time just to watch YouTube and to watch all the stuff I want to watch, or all the stuff that interests me, so that I can spend the rest of my time doing things, working on things that I actually want to get accomplished. I don't know. It feels like a strange problem to have, and maybe it's just a me thing. Maybe it wouldn't be any better if I had all the time in the world, but I feel like essentially what I'm getting at is I feel like if I didn't have to work so much, then I'd get to work some more on this. Not only because I wouldn't be spending as much time working as I do. Not only because I wouldn't be spending as much time actually working, but also because I would only be spending as much time on YouTube. Like watching YouTube, I should say. You know? Yeah, I feel like me working less does not mean that I watch YouTube more. It just means that I work on this channel and stream and stuff more, and D&D for that matter. I get to work on that more because the amount of YouTube I watch is relatively constant. So, yeah, I mean, we're just getting back to the point of I don't want to have to work my current job. Because it does not allow me time for everything I want to do. Want and slash feel I need to do. Puts food on the table, but I still have needs. I have needs other than food, shelter, and water. Surprisingly. Yeah, that seems to be the thing that a lot of people don't get, is that yeah, human beings have other needs other than just the physical ones. And heck, even sometimes people won't acknowledge the physical needs that people have. Like, God forbid you masturbate. Like, literally God forbid it. Because there are a number of people in certain religions who are like, nope, you can't do that. That's bad. Like, I know that's an actual thing that you need to do for the sake of your health, but you can't. No, that's bad. And that's dumb. Honestly, I'm just gonna call you out there. That's dumb. Also, here's a Flappy Bird segment. That's what's going on here. I just understood what that was. Okay. Hey, we saw that section again. That's pretty neat. Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird. It's funny, too, because a lot of people who have what they need, at least the majority of what they need, don't even realize what it is that they need. And so when other people say, hey, I need that thing that you have, I need that too, they're like, what? You don't need that. Because they themselves are not willing to admit that it is something that they need. Right? Because I guess it's something that they're not supposed to need. Fuck. I'm speaking very vaguely, but I'm talking about things like... Okay, so I took a psychology class in high school, and that certainly doesn't make me an expert. And I don't even know, I think I might have even heard that this theory has been somewhat disproven. But when I took my high school psychology class, we were introduced to something called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Pretty sure it was Maslow's. And of course, the physical needs were the base of the pyramid. The picture was a pyramid, much like the food pyramid, except not a scam. So it was a pyramid, and the base of the pyramid, of course, was the physical needs: food, water, shelter, that sort of thing. But there were other things on there, which may come as a surprise to people. There were other things on there, like social acceptance, right? When we feel it's hard for us to be happy if we don't feel like we are accepted by some sort of group, right? If we don't feel like we're part of some sort of group, because humans are group animals, right? We're pack animals, effectively. So if we feel like we don't belong, then it's pretty much impossible for us to be happy. Like, yes, we'll survive, probably, but we're not going to be happy. And you know what? So, surprise, surprise, sometimes not being happy leads to not surviving. I get shocking, I know, but hey, sometimes if you're not happy enough, you die. I'm talking about suicide. Hopefully you got that, but I feel like I almost feel like I need to explain it. Yes. Sometimes suicide happens because a person's needs are not being met. Whereas if they were being met, it wouldn't happen. You know, I guess it's not a hot take to say sometimes suicide is preventable, but that is the case. And I guess that's a shock to some people. But yeah, that's effectively what I'm getting at, is not all of a person's needs are as simple as food, water, and shelter. Right? And I feel like, I don't remember exactly, but I feel like a sense of accomplishment was somewhere on that hierarchy of needs. Right? A person needs to be happy and thus to truly survive. A person needs to feel like they have done something worthwhile. Right? That also feeds into not committing suicide, right? Because if you feel like you've done something worthwhile, then you feel like there's a reason to stick around, you know? Well, more likely, there's a chance that you think that, oh, well, I did this thing and then I can't do it again, and, you know, I'll never be able to do it again. That sort of thinking can lead to the worst, but I think you get what I'm getting at here. Where, yeah. So ultimately, what I'm trying to say is I have needs that aren't being met right now. Right? And that's why I'm not perfectly happy. Okay, so to discuss, funnily enough, the psychology class I took in high school was during my senior year of high school. And one of the things on that hierarchy of needs is the notion of self-actualization. And to simplify it, or to put it as simply as possible, self-actualization, a state of self-actualization is a state where you are satisfied with life. Where it's not necessarily a state where nothing is changing, because that could get boring, and boredom in itself can also prevent you from being satisfied. But it's essentially a point where all your needs are met, so you feel happy, or at least satisfied with your life. And it was during my senior year of high school that I actually felt that way. Right? I felt like I had everything I needed in life. Right? It's not that I lacked ambition or anything. It's not that I didn't care about anything, or that there wasn't anything I wanted to do. But it was a state where I felt like, yes, this is what life should be like. Right? I was truly, genuinely happy with my life. And I forgot where I'm going with this, but I mean, I guess I could say I'm not there now. And part of the reason I'm not there now is because I don't have, some of my needs aren't being met. And here's the thing. Most people, the vast majority of people are not self-actualized. They're not in a state of self-actualization. There's some need of theirs that's not being met, even if it's not the physical needs. So, yeah, ultimately, I think our goal as a society should be to allow everyone to reach that state of self-actualization. Because, hey, you know what? I've been there and it was great. It was genuinely the best time in my life so far. And I really wouldn't have traded it for anything. Of course, it couldn't last forever because my circumstances were changing. I was a senior in high school. Of course, I had to graduate, and once you graduate, you can't go back. So because circumstances changed, I had to leave that state of self-actualization. And the thing is, I knew that was going to happen. I saw it coming, and I was not happy about it. Because I knew that I was in a place in my life where I could continue like that for as long as I want, or even I had the thought plenty of times during that where I was like, if it all ended right now, I'd be okay with that. I would be okay with dying right now. Not that I wanted to die, but I would be okay with it because I felt like I had done everything I needed to do in life. And frankly, I would wish that on everyone. Literally every single human being in this world. I wish that for everyone. Because there was nothing... I have had nothing better in my life than that. Maybe we won't get so deep next time. But as for this episode, that's a wrap. Before you ask, yes, I'm okay.